to change, you filthy animal.
Yippee-ki-yay!
You Fijineer doubt fair, dear.
Shaken, not stirred.
You talking to me?
You're a wizard, Harry.
I volunteer as tribute.
Sometimes I doubt your commitment to sparkle motion.
Deirdre Chambers. What a coincidence.
That's so fat.
How woo.
Wakanda forever!
Welcome back, my darlings, to Not My Genre, the Fireteller Film Review. It's episode 41, and today we're going Pixar. We're doing Luca.
Amazing. Hello. We're Fireteller Film and Story. We're a video production house in Perth. We make all kinds of videos. Check out fireteller.com for all our work.
You didn't let me...
This is our podcast.
You didn't let me finish my opening spiel.
What else did you want to say?
Usual.
What else did you want to froth at the mouth about?
Usual. I can't even speak today. Jesus Christ.
What's new?
That's what I said was what I wanted to say. That's it. That's
So
all it is.
what are you even talking
Oh,
about?
I just don't like
anyway,
it today.
Luca, 1959. You know, it's set in 1959.
Hang on a second, Will.
I'm getting into the plot.
What's the plot of the film?
That's what I'm getting into.
I know.
It's set in 1959. A young boy experiences an unforgettable seaside summer on the Italian Riviera filled with gelato, pasta, and endless scooter rides. Luca shares his adventures with his newfound best friend, but all the fun is threatened by a deeply held secret. He is a sea monster from another world just below the ocean's surface.
Right.
I feel like that synopsis that I absolutely didn't read is a little bit backwards because Luca is revealed to be a sea monster at the beginning.
Now listen, this is what I've got something. Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop it. Okay.
Right.
I've got something to say.
Okay. Anyway, it's about a sea monster who finds a best friend who's also a sea monster, and they run away to a human town and have fun over the summer.
That's right. Now I've got something to say. About Pixar at the moment. Pixar is our golden story.
Wait. I got to stop you there. First
What?
impression for Luca.
First impression
score.
First impression
Your first
score.
of 3 scores. We have 3 scores in this podcast.
My first impression score. What did I think when I first saw this movie? 3 out of 10.
This was a 5 for me. So we
Okay.
both thought it was pretty low.
Right.
We love Pixar. If
We
you go look at all our
love it.
podcasts, we do mostly Pixar films. Or
Well, not
animated films.
mostly. Not mostly.
Okay, we do every Pixar film.
We've
that comes
done
out.
about 3. That's
Have
about. I think we've done 2 actually. This may even be our second
Okay,
one.
well, we love Pixar and we want to do more of them. Or
Yeah.
Disney. No, didn't we?
We've done Toy Story 4 and Onward. That's it.
Yeah, okay. When we did Wreck-It Ralph.
That's not Pixar.
I know it's Disney, but it's
You know,
close
I
enough.
think that you need to leave.
It's
you need
close
to
enough.
get out of the office.
Okay.
Stop it.
Fine.
Okay, listen to
fine.
me. Listen.
But we
okay.
love Pixar films.
We love it.
And we talk about them a lot.
Okay, if you just stop frothing. So Pixar.
Can't handle it.
Pixar is
Okay,
the golden
make your
child
point.
of story. This is
Yeah.
my point. Now, we have seen some extraordinary storytelling come out of this production house. Can I just say, Up, Inside Out, Onward. Now,
Yeah.
these are... Coco. Absolutely. The 4 top, absolutely beautiful stories. And I tell you what, when Will and I are writing and talking story and shit like that,
It's Pixar,
we
Pixar.
always go to
Pixar.
those four
It's amazing.
stories.
And what Pixar do really, really well is they're able to surprise you with what they're trying to say in their stories. Like, who would think that
Yes.
something like Onward, where you're able to find your father figure in your brother?
Oh, I
you
know.
Like that sort of touching sort of feeling.
They tell stories that you don't see, like you haven't
Yeah.
heard of before, and they
It-
touch on themes that you'd never see.
Yeah.
And it's like depression in Inside Out for young kids and stuff like.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, so good.
I know.
Um,
Inside Out's another great one. How you're able to, you're able to accept and find love in sadness and appreciate.
Yeah, I just said Inside
sadness.
Out. Did you even listen to me?
No, I did. I just heard you.
Oh, right.
You're talking about depression.
You're agreeing
But
with
I'm
me.
saying that
All right.
the combination of happiness and sadness, like
That's
that
right.
teaching is something you would never think.
100%.
A
Now-
Disney film would just be like, just be happy all the
Yeah,
time.
or be like a princess stuck in a
Yeah.
tower. Now, their new one coming out next year is called Turning Red, and this is about anxiety disorder or anxiety,
Right, okay.
which I
Yeah.
imagine is also going to be really surprising.
Yeah.
But can I say, like, at least 18 months ago, 2 years ago, I remember having a podcast, and we were really looking forward to Onward and Soul coming out, coming out in the next 9 months or whatever. Now, back then, I remember saying to you, I do not want to see Onward. How bad? Bad does Onward look? But how good does Soul look?
Yeah,
Really?
You were looking forward to Soul for so long because also it's by Pete Docter, who
Docter.
did Up and Inside Out.
Yeah, I mean, I was wanting that to be a real special. I mean, it caught. I can't even.
I didn't mind Soul, but I know you hated it.
Absolutely, utterly hated Soul. I can't believe it won, didn't it? The Academy Award.
It did, yeah. But
It
it's
won
Pixar.
over
They seem to
Onward.
always win.
No, it was up against Onward.
Oh, yeah.
Onward ended up being one of the best films I have ever seen.
I know.
So good.
I watched it again a few months ago, and I just, I'm expecting. I'm not expecting mediocre, but I'm expecting averageness, and I just was reminded just how powerful it was, how good it was.
I can't remember who it was directed by.
And you
or
have to
written
watch.
by.
There's an episode. I think it's the 4th episode of
Inside
Pixar, the Disney TV show.
Did I just say
show.
Inside Pizza? I think I did. I meant Inside Pixar. Anyway, what were you saying?
What's Inside Pizza?
I have no idea.
Okay. It actually is a story about Dan Scanlon and about who's the director. And
I
the
told you.
writer.
I told this story to you when we were doing the Onward thing about how he listened, the
Well,
phone
they talked
call
about
and
it.
okay. Oh, excellent. Okay.
Someone said to him one day, I said, your brother is your father.
Yeah,
When
go
he
on-
didn't have that. Anyway, let's
go
go
on-
on to
go and
We're not
listen
even
to
talking about that film.
Go and listen to our Onward podcast. Anyway, Soul came out. Absolutely, it's so. But I've seen it twice, and I've
Yeah.
really given it a good go. It is a really boring movie.
I just
He got
destroyed The
excited. He got
Office.
so excited, threw his arms up, and something broke. Now listen, Luca was the next one we were looking forward to after
Yeah.
Soul, and we thought, okay, we're going to allow them to sort of redeem themselves, and
Yeah.
they did not.
Okay,
This is
Luca
a
was
bad
much
movie.
worse for me than Soul. At least I could see what they were
Oh.
trying to do in Soul.
Oh, 100%.
But Luca
Luca.
confuses me.
Yeah. Oh,
I
gotta
don't even
give
get it. Anyway, this
Yeah.
film was directed by Enrico Casarosa, who is Italian, and it's set in an Italian town. He is only known for the Pixar short film La Luna, but he
Yeah.
also was the storyboard artist on Ratatouille, Coco, Up, and even Ice Age, which was DreamWorks.
Wow.
So,
That's
so he has a lot
interesting.
of experience being a storyboard artist, but this
Okay.
is his first feature debut.
Right. Now, can I say, I know you just said he did La Luna. Have you seen La
I've
Luna?
seen La Luna.
Okay.
It's nice.
La Luna, yeah, I think
It's
it's
a punchline film.
About a 5-minute film about a little girl or boy, I can't remember, who goes up to the moon and is collecting stars or something.
Yeah,
It's
like globes.
Oh, light globes, right? It has just, that short film feel.
Yeah.
It just feels like that. It's got this otherworldly sort of like punny. I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, I feel that Luca feels exactly like La Luna. Like you can totally
Yeah.
feel that it's done by Enrico Casarosa. Like
That's
I
good.
Totally get
Yeah.
that. So in a way, that's a good thing. That means
Yeah.
this guy's got a style.
He's auteurish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally just don't like that style. It just
Okay.
doesn't work for me.
What is
it
it?
might work for you.
Look, it is more. I think aimed at just slightly more of a younger audience. I think this Pixar film, not as young as the
Good-
dinosaur,
Good
the Good
Dinosaur.
Dinosaur, but just a little younger than I think some of the other ones. So
I don't know though, Will. I don't know if that's the case. I kind of
I think so. I felt this kiddiness to it. You know,
it does feel very kiddie, but a lot of people have been saying that this is, like Call Me by Your Name. Like,
okay, with that, but the director's denied that, and I think
I know he has, but
he would never intend.
I
that.
watched it again recently. I've seen Luca like
Yeah.
3 times now.
Why would you
Or
submit
two,
yourself?
2.5 times. Because
Half
to be
again.
honest, we should have done this podcast 2 months ago, but we've
Yeah.
been putting it off. So
Yeah.
we've like
So every time we say we're going to do it
gotta
this
do it.
week,
I go and
you watch
rewatch it, and you
Yeah.
put me through torture having to rewatch this film. That's why I've seen it.
Yeah.
But I recently rewatched it again. And how could he say it's not a gay story? Like, I just don't get it. Like, it's just
Let's say maybe it's not gay, but it's symbolic of a character being out of order, and what that lends itself to is a character that is dealing with their sexuality. Like, sorry, when I say out of order, I mean out of place. Like they have some sort of secret that they're trying to hide from other people about who they truly are.
I get that, but that's not the only thing. There's a lot
Right.
of there's a lot of sort
Are
of
you talking
gay
similarities between gay or Call Me by Your Name?
What do you?
I mean, like the actual film and the story of Call Me by Your Name, or simply
No.
just-
I'm saying that it's. How could the director say it's not a gay theme?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just-
it absolutely has that sense.
I
to it.
mean,
but you
come
could
on.
also say that
Mm.
X-Men is gay themed. So it's in that
I get
sense.
It.
You know?
I get it. This one is kind of very I don't know.
Well, because it's about like a key friendship between two boys.
Yeah.
Going through.
I mean, they are young boys too, so it's not like a romance.
No.
Yeah.
But
I
even
don't
Call Me
know.
by Your Name were young boys, but that was
No,
kind
he
of
was still
weird.
18. That was just a freaking
He was
weird.
17.
No way.
Yeah.
That's
And the
freaking
other
weird.
guy was 24.
Okay, that's
the
weird
book.
and illegal. But
I think it's legal in Europe.
oh, okay.
I don't know.
Can I say that
Yeah.
this film very much felt like Call Me by Your Name. It just I don't know the words. It has this meandering. We were talking about this for one of our series that we're going to write. We were
Yeah.
trying to find Call Me by Your Name's another.
It did
one.
have a bit of meandering
a
sense.
meandering kind of poetic kind of just sort of stay out in the sunlight and it's poetic. I guess is the word.
But he was influenced by one of your favorite directors, Hayao Miyazaki. Spirited
I know
Away.
this. Yeah, I do know. I did. It does feel very.
So that was a joke. Nathan does
I
not like.
hate Spirited Away. Absolutely, utterly. We should do a podcast on that because I'm gonna give it my first 1 out of 10.
Yeah, I love Spirited Away. I love the mood. I love the feeling of the whole film. But I know.
But I'm surprised that you don't like Luca because it does feel. I mean, it's
Luca does not have the same feeling. For
no,
me
but
as
it, but
Spirited
it, but
Away.
it's in the direction of.
Yeah, kind of.
But
I did
can-
not connect to Luca at all. But Spirited
Neither
Away,
did
I completely acknage that the story is a complete mess.
It's a complete
Or not,
mess.
not a mess, but it is completely symbolically all over the place.
Let's do it. Let's do it one day
Yeah.
and let's tear it apart. But listen, Luca.
Sorry, can I just say that
Yes.
on Spirited Away, we're all over the place. It's okay if a story is a bit all over the place, and you can still love that film. There's nothing wrong with that. If you love a film, you love a film.
Totally. I mean,
that's up to you.
You know, we've just done
Yeah.
Jungle Cruise as our last podcast,
Yeah.
and we had the same reaction about that. Absolutely loved it. We gave
Yeah.
it a 9 out of 10 for me on love meter.
Of the genre and just of the fun.
Yeah, but on a story meter, 6 out of 10. Luca, I had none of that.
I didn't have that same connection. Yeah.
Okay. So let's get on to the story score.
Yeah.
This is our second score. What are you giving it first? Or do you want to talk about the story
Well,
first?
story, I think there's a few things to mention. I think let's talk about the first thing, which is that the boys, Luca and Alberto, this friendship that arises, they connect over both wanting to ride a Vespa, the love of a Vespa, the freedom that they'll get from riding this Vespa. And the goal of the whole story involves entering this competition so they can win enough money to buy a Vespa. And for me, it just wasn't enough. Having that goal, that
Well, I
superficial
disagree.
goal-
I found it was too much.
Really?
Yeah.
I wanted there to be more of a goal to do with heart, like something to do.
Oh,
more
is
in their
that what you're talking about?
values.
No, I agree with you. Have you got anything
Yeah,
else?
yeah. No, sorry. Yeah, we're talking about the same thing. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough.
Yeah.
For them to do that. But what did you mean by it's too much?
I don't know. I found. Can I talk about my problem?
Yeah.
And you're going to have to help me find the words here
Okay.
because I've watched it, almost 3 times now. I'm still very confused and conflicted about what they were trying to do here.
Yeah.
And it comes down to your little synopsis that you just said here. I feel like they mix the metaphors.
Okay.
Okay, let me say that there seems to there's 3. Help me here.
Okay. Yeah.
Help me
This
here.
is a complex thought you're trying to
Okay,
get out.
so let's just talk about it in terms of a gay story, just for now, because
Are you talking about the Vespa or are you talking about
I'm
something
talking.
else?
I'm talking about something here completely. I've changed subjects.
Thanks.
Soz about it. For the first 15 minutes of the film, we're set up. They set up sort of the underground world.
Okay, sure.
They show the community of sea monsters and how he fits in or doesn't fit in. You can see that he's very sort of bored and that he longs for something else.
Yeah.
Very much like Ariel in The Little Mermaid.
Yeah. And people were saying this is Pixar's Little Mermaid.
That's right.
This story.
And you kind of get a sense that, he finds various articles, very much like Ariel, with the doobie whackers or whatever, the forks and
Yeah.
shit. He finds things like that and he longs to go out and see, the outside world. But then he goes out into the outside world. So let's just leave it there for a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I get that as a gay story or a trans story. I kind of get that. Somebody who's in an environment that is oppressing them in some way,
Yeah.
and they long for something else. They long to be a different person. They long to
Yeah.
come out of the closet
Yeah.
and be a different person.
I mean,
okay.
the Little Mermaid was written by Hans Christian Andersen,
who was gay.
And
he said that it is a gay interpretation.
it's more of a trans story, but anyway.
Yeah, I think it's a trans story. So we've set that up. We've got that with Luca, that he longs for this other. Now, he gets out of the water. Okay, we're out now. So now, so going by the original metaphor that they set up, he's essentially out of the closet,
Right.
right?
Well,
No, he's essentially being his true self.
He has to be a sea monster.
No,
in
listen.
public for that to happen.
No. So now you're mixing the metaphors. We've set up that he does not belong
Yeah.
to sea monster society.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Right.
He longs for something other than sea monster society.
Yeah, right.
So then he goes out into the human world, right? So essentially, if you're going by the original metaphor that they've set up, he is being his true self. Am I right?
Right. Yeah.
But here's the thing. Out in the human world, he has to hide
His true self.
his sea monsterness. So now we've mixed the metaphors. Now we've got somebody who's, again, in a world that is oppressing. And by the way, the humans are very anti-monster. They're very anti-gay, anti-trans.
Yeah.
Just like the monsters are very anti-human.
Yeah.
So So he goes from an oppressive world where he longs to be something else and is hiding the fact that he wants to be something else, into a world that is oppressing him where he wants to be something else.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And in the end, he has to learn to be a sea monster, not learn to be gay. He has to learn to be a sea monster in the human world. What? I don't get it.
I'm confused.
Are you confused?
Yeah, I'm confused.
I've
with
seen it
this.
3
Yeah,
times.
Yeah.
I'm fucking confused.
yeah.
They fucked this up.
Yeah.
Let me do a big fix.
Right.
We're going to fix it.
One of Nathan's big fixes.
We're going to story
All right.
doctor
Yeah.
this. And it's very simple. This needs to be a story about a human boy. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's make it different to The Little Mermaid. Let's start the story.
Okay. I think what you're going to say.
No, let me say it. It's my
You
idea.
bloody can't stop talking.
Okay.
Go.
Let me say the idea.
Go.
So unlike Little Mermaid, we don't set it undersea. We set it in the human world.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's a human. But lo and behold, he doesn't realize that his parents, who he lost years ago, were sea monsters, and he doesn't realize he's a sea monster. Right.
Yeah. Sure.
And one day, because it's a coming of age, it's obviously they're young boys, and he hasn't quite discovered his sexuality or
Whatever it is.
whatever the thing is that he's longing for to be. Something happens, and he discovers that he is a sea monster.
Yeah.
And so this story needs to be about him being okay with being a sea monster in the human world.
So let me say something about that. My partner Alex, he was from Colombia, and he actually grew up in Medellin.
Are you agreeing with me or not agreeing?
I'm agreeing with you
Okay.
that, and was in a landlocked. Well, he wasn't in a landlocked country, but he was from a town that wasn't close to the ocean, and he only saw the ocean when he was in his teenage years. So it would have been really great if Luke was a character like that, going along your story fix there, and he was a
Yeah.
character that had never seen the ocean, and as soon
Oh,
as he
this
saw
is-
the ocean,
This is fantastic.
he dived in.
Can I
and
fix this? Yeah.
realized he was a sea
Can I
monster.
yes and your idea?
Yes, and it.
So one thing with the sea monsters in Luca,
Yeah.
as it is now, is that whenever they touch water,
Yeah.
they turn into a sea monster. But let's fix that. Let's make it, because obviously he has to
Yeah.
have showers and baths
Exactly,
and stuff.
yeah.
Let's fix it. Let's make it that just
This is my idea.
Yeah.
It's the ocean.
just when they go in the ocean,
Yeah.
they turn into a sea monster. This
Yeah.
is now we've got a great story.
Now we've got a great story. Yeah.
Now we've got a story that resonates, that actually the metaphors sort of align and work.
Yeah.
And by the way, is way more interesting and unlike The Little Mermaid than how they did it.
Yeah, and so then the story turns out that him and his adopted family, or whoever he's with, decide to go on a trip into the ocean.
Yeah.
Like maybe they're going on a boating trip or something like that. And the forest of
Totally.
greatness is that for the next 90 minutes, or 60 minutes, he's stuck on the ocean trying to hide the fact that he's a sea monster from everyone else on that boat.
100%.
Or something like
but
that.
also, how much more interesting is it that a human goes into a special world, a forest of greatness, as we call it, of just this unknown world of monsters,
Yeah.
rather than the other way around?
Yeah. That's
you know what
way
I mean?
better.
It's-
And so this is a real big point that I wanted to bring up, that when they showed that sea monster world at the beginning and they showed him, farming the little sheep, the feast sheep, I wanted to know more about that world.
It's one of the most
It was
interesting
way
parts.
more interesting.
Yeah, but
Way
they
more
set the whole
interesting.
thing in the human world, and it should have been turned on its head.
Yeah, and this leads us on to the Nadir that we want to talk about. Are you ready to go there?
No, I'm not, I just want to say one more thing on
Okay,
that previous
go
point.
for it.
Not that I'm trying to cut you off.
You were always trying to cut me off. Just
Whatever.
admit
Just get in the corner and shut up.
it. You can buy me a cocktail tonight.
Okay. Damn, I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, okay. So when we're trying, when Will and I are trying to sort of work out what a film is sort of essentially centrally about, one of the first places that you need to look is what we call the worst nightmare
Yeah.
/ failure to launch part, and that is where the protagonist is put under the most amount of pressure, and they choose unwisely.
Yeah.
They choose the no part. They choose
They
the
usually
lie.
lose a value that they had gained throughout the previous part of the story,
That's right.
or they lose the value that they gained and that original value which they held.
And they head into a place called the Nadir, or
Yeah.
the wasteland, as some people call it.
The worst place they could
The
go.
worst place that could possibly ever fall. Which is going to lead on to your next point, by the way.
Yeah.
But what happens in Luca, and I don't know if you remember, this happens actually just sort of on the shore of the beach. And what's the character's name? What's Alberto?
Yeah.
Alberto sort of, is really jealous about
Him running off with Julia.
Luca and Julius.
The friendship that he
Friendship.
gains. Yeah.
He's jealous, and he thinks he's going to destroy it all. So he wets himself and comes out and reveals that he's a sea monster.
Yeah.
and it's actually a really great moment that they put Luca under so much pressure where he has to choose what is he going to say. Is he going to reveal that he's a sea monster, or is he, is he not?
Yeah.
And he points at Alberto and he says, "Oh my God, it's a sea monster!"
Yeah.
And it's
Throws him under the bus, essentially.
really great no point.
Yeah. So this is a point where he is completely rejected accepting himself as a sea monster and essentially coming out to all these newfound friends as a sea
100%.
monster himself.
So when you look at that, that's such a wonderful
yeah,
scene.
it's really good,
It's
yeah.
so strong, and
On the value binaries, they've taken him to a really dark place there.
they shouldn't change anything about that. They should have designed the entire story around that moment, and therefore they needed to completely remove the stuff at the beginning with the sea monsters. They needed to not show him as a fish out of water in the sea world. They needed to only show him as a fish out of water in the human world.
Right.
They fucked up. That is a massive fuck up.
Yeah.
Massive fuck up. And I cannot believe that. And I truly believe, Will, that this is why this film did not resonate. I think that even unconsciously, because it took me a couple of watches to really get it, I feel like kind of even unconsciously...
You just don't get it.
You
do
feel like something's just not right. It's just kind of not matching, you know? Whereas when your symbols and your motifs and your themes and your binaries and values, and when they all come together, you get this remarkable resonance.
Yeah.
And this is what really draws you into a Pixar movie, is that resonance. And
it takes a lot of skill and a lot of time to really develop those elements to really fit together like cogs all fitting together into the machine.
That's all I got to say.
That is the magic of writing.
Now,
so just going on your point about the Nadir, because this is another thing we want to talk about. Let's forget about the Vespa thing. It's not even that important.
Okay.
So I'm going to talk about the Nadir, which is, going on your point, that's a really great scene there where he basically calls out Alberto for being a sea monster. But... another place they could have taken him is into that sea monster world at the beginning and gone to an even deeper, darker place. And so what I'm getting at is that Sacha Baron Cohen actually plays Uncle Ugo.
Oh, is it Sacha Baron Cohen?
Yeah, I recognize his voice straight away.
I didn't.
Didn't you?
Wow.
So he plays Uncle Ugo.
Great character.
Who is actually the impetus for Luca running away at the beginning because he's threatened. Because he goes out on top of on the surface and onto the human world so much, his parents basically reprimand him and say, "You're going to be sent to the deep dark or something like that, the dark deep or
the underworld.
The underworld. And so that's such a great scenario that's been set up for him to go that they never take him to.
Now, let me say.
So look, your point about you got to take your character to a deep dark place, and him throwing his friend under the bus like he did is great, but also taking him to a physical symbolic location that represents that loss
100%.
of the values, that nadir, is also a really important thing.
100%.
So why didn't they take him there?
100. They had gold
Yeah.
with Uncle Ugo. Like, what a great idea. Taking him down into the deep is you got to take your characters to the nth degree.
You do.
100%.
You really have to.
Even if you just suggest it, you've just got to take them. And one thing that Pixar do really well is that they usually take the characters to the nth degree. Now we even saw it in Soul, by the way, although they did do it in the other character. What's the guy? I forget her name.
The 22.
22. They did it with 22 and not the actual protagonist, but they still went to the nth degree with her. Inside Out. Oh my God.
Inside Out, long-term memory. No, sorry.
The memory dump.
The memory dump. So
You
Joy is thrown deep down into the memory dump where all the memories are lost and they start disappearing, and she starts, she's threatened with fading away.
Yeah.
Joy, if she doesn't get back to headquarters,
Totally.
Riley is going to forget her forever.
Totally. Such a great Nadir.
Representation of the Nadir and of that place where she's lost both happiness and sadness.
Totally. We see it in Up as well. Where he
Up's
reaches
a really great one because it's personified as this great thing.
Well, it's
this
ironic
beautiful
storytelling,
yeah.
which I love.
Yeah.
So when he reaches Paradise Falls, it seems to be the ultimate boon, but it's not. It's called a mirage.
I mean, he's achieved his goal there. He's got that thing that he's wanted from the very beginning, and which we've been sort of championing him to get to and to do.
That's right.
But then we realized that wasn't the point.
There was the worst thing that he possibly needed for his entire life was the thing that he wanted the most.
Yeah.
Ironic storytelling. Anyway, back to Luca. They could have done that with Uncle Ugo. As soon as I saw Uncle Ugo, I was like, oh, come on. Obviously, he's going to end up in the deep dark.
Yeah.
We never saw him go.
And that's why I think, again, I had that feeling that it was made for little kids like they shied away from that.
Come on.
But, come
No.
on. Kids are used to
What
this
are you
stuff.
talking about?
No. This is my point. That like kids
Mufasa
can deal
freaking
with this.
died.
I know.
That he
Kids
literally
can
was.
deal with this shit.
Mufasa
But I feel like
was
they made some
waste.
safe choices because of that.
Mufasa was murdered.
He was
wasn't
murdered.
just didn't just die.
I know.
He was murdered. Come on, little kids. They need this.
Yeah. This is real life.
How could kids not deal with a fucking sea monster being in the dark deep,
Yeah.
eating whale carcass? How could they not deal
Would
with
have
that?
been great.
No,
Maybe they did do it.
they
They just cut it. I don't
fucked
know.
up.
Anyway.
No, and let's move on.
There's not
That's
much more to
That's
talk
all.
about.
I'm actually very angry. It actually makes me angry. This movie. Still, you must go and see it. Spend your money, go and see
Yeah.
it, because you need to see the films that don't work as well in order to learn about stuff. So make sure you go and see it.
Yep.
Do you have anything
Exactly.
else to say? By the way,
Other than,
91%.
Why hasn't Pixar hired us?
I know. We're so great. 91% of Rotten Tomatoes. People love Luca, and I don't know why. By the way, I've seen some really bad reviews.
Oh, look,
about
I got to say, generally audiences, especially when they see a film for the first time, they are usually, completely hypnotized by the beauty of something. And
And
the way
it-
they represent Italy.
It
and
is
the seaside sound.
gorgeous.
Yeah, it is. Look,
And
it's top Pixar animation.
It's beautiful, and you do get a feeling like I wanted to go to Italy. I wanted to taste the gelato and the pasta and the sun and all that. Yeah, I wanted it. I felt it, but it's just, it's just shiny stuff.
Yeah.
It's not real. It's not heart. It's not meat. That's it.
That's it.
That's all I got to say. Do you have
All
anything
right.
else to say?
No, that's great.
Let's call it a day because we're going for cocktails.
What's your story score?
My story score,
What's
I've
your,
said.
sorry, what's your final
No,
score?
did I give my story score? What did I say?
I don't know. No, I
I
don't think you
don't
did.
think did you?
No, I didn't. Shit.
Okay.
Sorry,
I'm
give me
giving
one.
I'm giving Luca a 2 out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Actually, I'm giving it a 1 out of 10.
I'm giving this a 3.
How?
You're right. It had no redeeming
Just
qualities.
seriously,
okay, fuck it, I'm giving it
how?
a 1 too.
1 out of 10.
Okay.
So, what is your final? We didn't do final TRP.
No,
for,
we did.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Yeah.
What's your final score for Luca? Your not TRP. What's it called? The FMG.
I don't know. I mean, see, I think I have to keep this a 1 because when you really analyze the story and how many mistakes
No, it's not the
it made-
FMG. It's the NMG.
The NMG. Okay.
Don't even know the
Are
name
you
of
quite
it.
right there.
No.
Okay, the NMG score.
What were you
it's
saying?
a 1 for me as well.
Yeah, I'm going 1 out of 10 for Luca.
Yeah. Because when you go back, you analyze the story, you see what such a obvious mistake that was made
Yeah.
on a deep symbolic level. You can't really
Unforgivable.
forgive it.
Unforgivable. Sorry,
Yeah.
guys.
So try again.
Turning Red needs to be way better because you've got
Yeah.
2 films to make up for.
Yeah.
Sort your shit out.
But it was beautiful, and everyone else that works at Pixar, well done.
Yeah. Go see it. All right, I can hear the music.
Yeah.
Hope you guys are really well. Next
Yeah.
time, we'll
Love
give
you.
all of our news.
Yeah.
Love you, Illy.
Really. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Hola,